That's loud. Wow, that's loud. There's still a few things left to do on stripping the frame of the Dakota before we coat it. And a couple of those things are going to be a little bit difficult to get off. And I'll go over that in just a second. One of the first things though is we still have this junction block, which is some kind of proportioning valve or maybe even like towing assist. I'm not exactly sure what it does completely, but we are removing it. It's going to go away. And I'm going to probably take this brake line off too, if I can see where it all mounts, and get it off nice and easy. Hopefully you guys could have seen that. But one of the main things that I'm going to do today is these guys right here. These are the factory leaf spring hangers on the frame. And I have an aftermarket set that brings this mounting point up 4 inches. And in order to get those on there, well, we have to cut these things off. When these things, what I mean by that are rivets. And I'm going to show you guys how we're going to do that. And in order to do that, I actually bought a new toy. Or at least it's a tool, right? But I've never had one before. So it was probably time for me to go ahead and grab one. I hope I have a fitting for it, but I did buy air chisel, air hammer, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to be needing to use this guy to get those rivets off for sure. So got a lot to set up here, so I'm going to get busy with that, and then well, we'll get started on pulling the rest of the stuff off. Let's get this proportioning valve junction thing off of here. It shouldn't be too big of a deal. We've already disconnected it from the rear end in the last video. And I'm just gonna, there we go, unhook this brake line, which that went pretty easy. Very good. And then looks like we just have a couple bolts here to come off. Half inch. Oh yeah. Uno. There she is. It took me being a professional dirt mover, but that's the rear brake line out, and this is the old fuel line remnants that were still in the truck. So glad to have those things out. Now I'm going to start pulling off some of these supports so that we can really expose the frame and get to it, and then we'll work on pulling these hangers off. So yeah, making some good progress. These I'm going to start with this one, and this is literally just for the fuel cell, and it's these are carriage bolts on the other side, and they're 9/16. So let's just zip these off. And moving. Dang it! Oh wait, they're carriage bolts. Should be able to hold it forward and pull them off. At least in theory. There we go. This one does the same. There it goes. Alright. Well, let's get this dude off. This is the cross brace towards the back of the truck. Should be pretty simple. 4 bolts on each side with a nut on the back side, and all of them are 9/16. So just hit them with the electric ugga dugga. See if we can get them off. See how we go. Okay. That dude ain't moving. There he goes. I'm gonna have to move one side forward and the other side back to get it out though. All the gunk in here. Whew. Hammer. See if I can get this to move. It's gonna be kind of tough. There it goes. Oh yeah! Boy, have we done a number here. Just about everything is off the frame. There's a couple odds and ends like the bump stops and stuff that I gotta pull off before we start cleaning it. But the brace that's over there that I just took off, definitely something that's pretty integral to the rigidity of this. So it definitely has to go back on. And I wasn't planning on not putting it back on. I just want to be able to get in here and clean some stuff up a lot easier. But I don't know if you guys can see the flex on that, but it's pretty significant. So that's good to know. All right, so I was able to go in and find the parts that I need to show you guys the difference in what I'm doing with these leaf spring hangers. What I have is actually this. It's a set of Beltec lowering leaf spring hangers. And I bought them used for a pretty good deal online. I saw them come up for sale and I was like, I gotta have those. So I'll give you a little example of what it's gonna be like when we remove this hanger right here and install this one. You can see that the eyelet for the leaf spring bolt is up here, 4 inches higher than here. That's going to bring that mounting position up and lower the truck down 4 inches. So I've got to find a way to pull these guys off. I kind of know the process, but I've never done it myself. So let me go get the tools that we're going to need to do that, and then we'll get to cutting on this guy. I'm hearing acorns or pine cones or something fall on the roof of my shop, and it's freaking me out. All right, here we go. Tools of the trade to get all this done. I've got a grinder with a grinding wheel on it. Hopefully I don't drop that again because I just dropped it a minute ago. And then I've got my new air chisel, air hammer, whatever you want to call it. The plan, it's not too difficult, but we're gonna take that grinder and we're gonna cut an X on these heads here as best as we can. And then we're gonna use the air chisel to try to pop the heads off of there. And then I've got another attachment that'll push it out. Never really done this before. It doesn't look too terribly difficult, but let's see if we can get it done. I did go out and buy some things though, because I'm starting to get paranoid about getting hurt with these things. So I'm not just sending it willy-nilly anymore. I got me a good face shield, and I'm gonna go grab my welding gloves because they should be thick enough to protect me from any shrapnel. And then we're gonna get the grinding. Here we go. All right, you kind of see a little bit of Xing going on there. Best I could with the space I have. Let's get the ear chisel out. See if we can make this happen. Got a brand new sharp chisel on this thing. I don't think there's anything else I need to do but get it in place and pull the trigger. That's loud. Wow, that's loud. Now I change to this punch. You do the same thing from this way, going down. There it goes. Just needs a little bit more. Okay. Now I gotta do that for 3, 12, 15 more times. I'll get it done though. I'll get it done. That worked really well. The only problem is I've got a pretty big ringing in my ears. That clutch air hammer is awesome, but it sure is loud. So I've actually only done one side. I haven't done the other side because I'm gonna go get some ear protection. A lot of y'all probably don't know, but I'm a musician. I've been playing guitar since I was 14, and the intro song to Racer X Garage is actually from one of my bands. Well, I've had some hearing issues for a long time because I've played guitars and been around hot rods for a long time. So I don't want to do any more damage than I have to, and the ringing in my ear is pretty bad. It's probably one of the worst times I've had it since I've been on stage. So I'm not going to do the other side till I get some hearing protection. I will say that I'm super glad that I bought this from Harbor Freight. It's a nice face mask. I can see really well out of it. It's probably the best I've ever seen since I've ever been grinding. And I felt comfortable using that. So I'm glad I bought that piece of protection, but I didn't think about my ears. So lesson learned on that. I'm gonna go get a set of earmuffs before I finish the other side and before I ever use that tool again, because holy moly, that's loud. So that's the end of my safety rant there. Let's get on to the other stuff we have here. These are the factory spring perches from the Dakota, and I've got them lined up as they kind of would be. You can see this is where the spring bolt is for the front on the factory ones, and this is where it is on the Beltec drop brackets. And like I said, there's 4 inches of difference there. So it does that on the front and on the back. So this truck's going to be a whole lot lower once we get the new rear end and all the springs and everything else in it. So it's going to be pretty low to the ground. It's going to be something to get used to. We're definitely going to have to lower the front. We have a plan for that as well. So we got a lot of work still left to do, but the frame is stripped. I've got all the bolts out of it. I even took the bump stops off the frame. It's ready to be hit with a wire wheel. And yeah, it's time to order some stuff to coat the frame, which I think I've told you in the last video, it's going to be KBS coatings, and that stuff works awesome. But I'm going to have the dirty job of coming in here with the wire wheel and hitting this whole frame and getting it ready first. Man, look at all the dirt and stuff that came off of that frame. So I still have those 2 leaf spring mounts to do. And like I said, I'm going to wait till I go get some ear protection before I do that. Which I'll probably get that done tomorrow. But look at, yeah, I think I showed y'all this earlier. Definitely needs the braces in there. And then we're going to, like I was saying in the last video, we're going to encapsulate this C channel. We're going to box it in so we can get it ready for the roll cage that's coming in here. So the roll cage is going to come from the back of the truck down to the frame right here, and where it attaches, it needs to be boxed in. So we've got a lot of boxing to do. We're not going to be able to box here because that's where the cross member goes. But I'm going to try to box a little bit right here and then here back. I'm not sure how far I'll go back. We'll have to see. I'm going to have a friend help me because I'm sure I can weld it, but I've never really set up a welder before. So I've got a lot to learn on that, but yeah, it's going well. I think I might be onto something. So thanks for coming along as always, guys. This is a lot of work, but it's already starting to be pretty rewarding, and I can't wait to have it all done. So we still got a few episodes to go here. We got to clean and strip the frame, coat the frame. We got to tear the 8.8 down, pull all the brackets and stuff off of it. I'm going to try to pull the shock brackets off of this rear end housing and reuse them. I may not be able to do that, but I'm going to give it a shot. And then, yeah, we got, just kind of reassembly. So this is kind of over the top for most people. If you're just swapping an 8.8 in here, you probably don't have to do all this, pull the bed off and stuff like that. But I really want to get this thing the attention that it needs and not have to do things twice, especially since eventually it's going to have a roll cage. So, yeah, thanks for coming along. Let me know what you think of the whole thing, and if you have any suggestions. Perhaps you've done this before. I think somebody else in the last video made some suggestions, and I saw that I hadn't gone back over to it, so I'll need to do that. But if you're new to the channel, welcome to LS Swap Dakota Central, plus my 68 Nova Barn Find, real SS car, Sonoma GT, my 63 Bel Air, plus we have Greg's Typhoon, a Dakota RT, we got a Corvette, we got all kinds of stuff. We got all kinds of stuff, and it's a lot of fun. So if you would like to come out and hang out with us and join in all the fun, please consider subscribing. If you already have subscribed, you guys are the greatest. I say that in every video, and I absolutely mean it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just a quick reminder, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The RacerX Garage. You can check out our t-shirts and stuff that we have, what's up there right now, at racerxgarage.com. And yeah, I think I'm gonna go get cleaned up, and I'll see y'all next time. Until next time, you guys know the deal. Y'all be good.